Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Inside the Business Mind. When we do this show, we are so blessed and have such a great opportunity to introduce you to some of the most magnificent business minds that I have a chance to interview and get in front of. Sometimes they're here in Northern Virginia, sometimes they're somewhere else in the world. But today's episode, we're lucky to have someone right here is Northern Virginia Gold, born and raised right here in the this great area or region of the country that is so diverse and so powerful and does so much for the state of Virginia. I'm going to say we hold up the whole economy for the state of Virginia. Outside of Hampton Roads, I think we pretty much have that whole thing on lock. But I'll tell you, sometimes I bump into some of the greatest small business leaders, and I'm so excited and so grateful to have the opportunity to build relationships with them and meet them and work with them. And today is no different. Our guest today is Elaine O'Malley. She comes from the O'Malley clan, and I'm gonna let her tell you about that if she chooses to do so. But it's an incredible story of her family and how they have really taken their spot in the world from far back as the 1500s. Okay, that's what we're talking about. And so she's a game changer. She's an entrepreneur. She's a leader in networking and collaborative opportunities here in Northern Virginia. And her new business ventures are amazing, amazing, amazing. If you are an entrepreneur and you need to have the best health insurance at the lowest rates from a wonderful representative, you are going to have found gold today. I promise you. I'm not going to let you sit on the vine anymore. We're going to pick this fruit and we're going to get right to the game. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Inside the Business Mind with Elaine O'Malley. And I want to bring our great guest on right now. This is Elaine O'Malley.
Hi, Coach
How
Powell.
are you,
Thank you
Elaine?
so much for having me today. I'm very excited to talk to you. Always a
Fantastic. It's so
pleasure.
good to see you once again. Thank you for coming on to the show. I'm going to give the floor to you. Tell us about Elaine. Who is Elaine O'Malley
Okay.
today?
Well, I was born here in Georgetown, DC, and I've lived here my whole life, but I have a Boston accent. And the first thing people say to me when they hear one word out of my mouth is, "You're from Boston." And I'm like, "Yep, mom and dad were from Boston." So Fairfax County Schools tried to knock that accent out of me. And my father, who was very much an academic, was the only time in his life he ever said to me, "Don't worry about whatever they say, just keep the accent." So still have it today. So but anyway, but I'm born and bred here, went through Belvedere and Glasgow and Jeb Stuart High School, and still live here in the house I grew up in now. And I had a younger brother named Mark O'Malley. A lot of people know him. He was huge in Special Olympics, and I was huge in Special Olympics with him. And I took care of him the last 17 years. So he died a year ago, but I got him to age 56, which is pretty amazing for Down syndrome. So that was like one of my biggest accomplishments of my life, I think, was getting him to 56. So very happy about that. All his friends had died years ago, decades ago. And he was here with me. So that was a terrific thing in my life. And my parents, I think, are very proud from heaven. So anyway.
Thanks so much. Listen, what did Mark specialize in the Olympics?
Oh, bowling and swimming. Those were he did a lot of sports, but those were the
Right.
two. I mean, this kid, Marvin, would beat you. And I don't even know what your bowling is, but he'd be strike, spare, strike, turkey, turkey, strike, spare. I mean, amazing. And swimming, he got a gigantic gold medal at the International Special Olympics at Notre Dame in 1987. And man, that kid could swim the butterfly like nobody. I mean, man, you're not going to win. That kid could move. And the butterfly's hard. And he could do the breaststroke, the butterfly. He did everything, but he loved the butterfly, which most people avoid. And and he was a fish in the water.
I get it 100%.
Yeah,
I
he was
absolutely
a
get
lot
it.
of fun.
So
A lot of fun.
let's get into it. The first question I got to ask you today
Okay.
is a question that's near and dear to my heart because the Roundtable, which is the organization that I run, is also near and dear to my heart. And we specialize in promoting three core values: communication, collaboration, and encouragement. And so I'm going to ask you, of those three core values, which one do you feel most closely connected to and why?
Right. Well, I think collaboration is the word for me. In my personal life and my business life. I mean, Mark, I did Mark alone for 17 years. But at the end, I had a very close friend. He's actually a Congolese Catholic priest. Leave it to my mom to bring a priest into my life. And he and I really collaborated on taking care of Mark. So that was huge. I mean, Mark was tough. I mean, at the end, Mark was tough. He had Alzheimer's, which I eliminated. I eliminated sleep apnea, but we still had tons of challenges. And he was very helpful. But I also live collaboration in my business life. And I live it so much that I run a networking group called Capital Business Collaboration. So I think I have to pick that word because I really live it every day. And in my group, what I wanted to make different about my networking group that I run here in Northern Virginia was I wanted to work together as a team, because I believe that we're stronger as a team than we could ever be as individuals. And so we have a real estate team, we have a business team, we have a personal services team, and we go find events. We actually proactively go after business as a team, which my team really loves, because I don't think a lot of the groups necessarily focus on that. And we actually run events and we go out and meet the community, and we are out and around, building our business in these teams. And also when somebody's having struggles in their business, we come around them with a lot of, well, in this case, encouragement and ideas about how to build their business and things that they have never thought of. And because we got a lot of brain power in my group. And so it's not just, it's collaborating with people on, hey, I'm really stuck on this and I need some help. And like the next week I had a woman in my group. She came to my meeting. I'm stuck. And the next week we had her in the Washington Post and the business took off. So, things can happen when you just are honest with people and say, look, I need a little help. And we all come around you and we move you on to the next thing. So that's what I love. And it's really about relationships, because life is about relationships. And who do you like working together? Because if you have a lot of people you really enjoy working with, the collaboration just comes out of love, I think. So anyway, so that's kind of what goes on in my group.
I absolutely love it. Of course, collaboration is near and dear to my heart as well. I do believe that we are stronger than me, and if we focus on how we can come together and do things, it's much better than, just the rugged individual going at it by themselves, out there, because you miss so much when you're left to your own thoughts, you're left to your own mind, and you don't have anybody else to kind of look at things and help you make adjustments. In fact, my latest work, the 7-day furlough challenge, pretty much, that I put together, I did that. People are like, oh, well, this is a great book. How'd you do it? I had hundreds of professionals weigh in, like yourself, and give me their ideas, and they're mentioned in the book. So, and then the book is I'm giving it out for free, because it's a way for the community to come together to help one another, more so than it is a book that I wrote or put together. It's not about me, it's about we. And it was a collaborative effort, and I know for a fact it's going to be helpful to those people who've been furloughed and they're thinking about what to do next. But anyway, this is not about me, it's about you. And so I'm so glad that, you and I can agree. Yeah, I think collaboration is the key of all those things too. And you'll see the circles in the top left-hand corner of our communication tonight, and you'll see that these are things that we promoted at the roundtable, which is key to I think community success is understanding how to truly and effectively collaborate. So in terms of what you do today, and I know that you have found this diamond in the rough, this health insurance program that entrepreneurs can take advantage of, that saves them tons of money and gets them the quality of healthcare that they need to have for themselves and their families. I know you got that. What do you love most about what you get to do with this program?
Well, I think it's fine. I think the most common thing that I get back in feedback is, I'm relieved. I mean, I hear that so often because when I was on a 20-year journey as an entrepreneur, I could not find health insurance I liked. I mean, people will tell you, I jumped health insurance companies every 3 to 4 months. Jump, 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 jump. Never had what I wanted. And one time I got really scared. I had eye surgery and I had to go get an EKG. And they put the leads on wrong. And I got a call. You need to get back to the hospital. You have half an hour to live. I am not joking. This happened to me. And so I call a friend. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I feel great. I think if I was dying, I would know it. But okay. So I go back to the ER. They're waiting for me at the door. And I go in. They literally rush me into the EKG room and they take my EKG. And right after that, they run me into the back. I mean, I didn't even stop at the desk. Okay. This is how fast they're moving. And they ran me into the back of the ER. They're hooking me up. They're like, you're going to have open heart surgery this afternoon. And I call my insurance lady and I say, what does this mean? And she says, oh, you're going to be financially bankrupt. And I'm like, and I'm paying $500 a month for this insurance. So anyway, I was fine. They put the leads on wrong. And then the doctor came in and said, we're sending you home. So I don't even think I checked in. So anyway, but the next day I'm looking for insurance, right? Because I'm like, okay, well, this isn't working. So after 20 years of, scenarios like this, I found something called Impact Health Sharing. I bought it a year ago and it has low deductibles. I have a $2,500 deductible instead of $10,000. I have a maximum out of pocket of $7,500 instead of $25,000. I'm half the price of the ACA. With the new prices of the ACA going in, I don't even know what that'll be. But I'm 60 years old and I'm paying $357 a month. And I have any doctor anywhere, which was huge for me because I haven't been able to go to my own doctor in 20 years. No matter what plan I was on, I could never go to my own doctor. And, I love about my job is I'm saving people a lot of money. I mean, life-changing amounts of money. I have a client who was paying $32,000 a year for insurance. We got her down to $6,000 for the family. I have another friend who's a waitress, and she said to me, I'm so relieved. Her boss gave her $800 to find insurance, $800 a month. And she came to me, we were talking, and she said, what have you got? And I said, well, let's see. And she's going to get insurance for $300 a month and save her boss $500 a month getting insurance that she wants. She said to me, I can't find insurance for $800 a month, Elaine. But with you, I found exactly what I want for $300 a month. So that's what I mean. And I just love the people's relief when you can save them $20,000 a year, or, just the relief of I can go to my own doctor in the case of my friend Terry. That gives me such joy and also them such peace that, making a $32,000 a year payment is a double of my house tax. I mean, that's a lot of money. And a lot of people can't do it. And they're going without insurance. I'm also meeting a lot of people that are hourly workers that just don't have insurance. And they're riding the wave of prayer and hope that I'm not going to get sick. So I'm just really, so about a month ago, I'm like, why am I not sharing this? Like, what's wrong with you, Elaine? Open your mouth and tell people about it. I mean, we shut down the government over healthcare. And people are really, worried. And I remember with the rates going up at least 18% across the board next year and possibly doubling or tripling, and people being thrown off the ACA. And, it's hard. So I'm just sharing this to anyone that wants to, take a look and see what it can do for them.
I am so glad you're out there. I'm so glad that you found this program and so glad that you're sharing it. I know a little bit about your background and where you come from, but I wanted to ask, why this at this point in your life, in your career? You've done so many things. You've participated, engaged in so many life-changing opportunities for yourself and for others. Today, why this? Why is this so significant and important to you?
Well, I think it's a couple of things. When I lost Mark last year, I was limited to staying at home, right? So I became an entrepreneur where I could work at home and I couldn't leave the house a lot. I mean, he could be fine for a couple hours, but I wasn't traveling without him. I wasn't, spending as much time as I could on the business. So I was pretty limited in what I could do. And I really, honestly, Marvin, I've spent the last year trolling in my mind, what do you want to do? And I know you encounter this with your clients. I mean, it's easy to know what you don't want to do. I think it's really hard to know what you do want to do. And my businesses kind of found me. I mean, when I started being an entrepreneur, I hated networking. I mean, there was nothing I could think I would like to do less. I mean, just hated it. But you know what? As I did it, I forced myself to do it because I said, well, you can either do this or you can starve. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to figure this out. And I just went to work, and I found out I really liked networking. I loved meeting people. I loved seeing what made them tick, why they do their business, what's going on in their lives. And I found out I'm a really good connector of people. Like, it's just a natural talent where I know who needs to meet who, and I kind of keep it in my brain. And I can connect people on the spot. I can meet someone within 30 seconds in the networking group and probably give them 3 referrals. Because 1, I've built a huge network, and 2, I know who wants to meet them. I don't even have to ask if it's okay if I can introduce them, because I already know people that want to meet them. So I love that. I found I have a natural talent for it. And then for the impact, I think, again, it's timing. You know, here I am with this program that I love, and I'm not telling people about it. And I'm like, people need to know. So I've kind of like, I found it after a year. I restarted my group, and now I'm doing impact. And I think businesses tend to find me rather than me finding them, because I very often don't know what I want to do with my life. But I'm really excited, because I think these are 2 things that I can be really excited about. And I love seeing the joy in my teams. Even like I go back to my networking group. I mean, people really love coming to my meetings because we have fun, and we're not, we're not formal. We have discussions, and and then we build relationships within the group, because we all get to know each other, because people can be really frank about what's going on in their lives or what's going on in their business. And we all rally around them, whatever it is. And in my healthcare, like I said, I keep getting the word, I'm so relieved. I'm saving money, or I found that I can go to any doctor. The any doctor one is a huge one. So anyway, so that's what I really love doing.
I absolutely love it. You and I are so cut from the same stone when it comes to a lot of things. I'm a networker, but I'm a networker because I have to be, because I had to learn how to do that when I arrived here in Northern Virginia, and I didn't know a soul. And I had to quickly figure out, how do I begin to build my connections, build my brand, build my professional relationships in a way that are fruitful. And in the meantime, I found that it was much easier to help other people do the same thing as I was doing the same thing. And I learned the hard way on many occasions what works and what doesn't work, and how to make sure that people know how to collaborate, because it comes quite naturally once you get past the trust barriers.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get past those things that you wonder who a person is and where they're coming from and why they're doing what they're doing. And that's kind of reason why I created this show, because I want to help my friends share the greatness that's inside of them, and then we can figure out the other stuff later on, but we want to know kind of who you are and where you're coming from, because that matters a lot in terms of how much we're going to trust you, and are we going to give you the opportunities that you deserve, quite frankly. When you look at yourself over the next 5 years, Elaine is going to grow. She's going to share. She's going to continue to make good things happen for other people. But where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? If you had to look back and go, I want to be able to be, do, and have these things over the next 5 years, what's that going to look like for you?
Yeah. Well, I tend to stay with stuff. I mean, that's kind of like, I started out at the age of 21 with MCI. I went through WorldCom. I was in the middle of that, where all my bosses were fired, and I reported, I guess, to the board of directors, because I looked up and there was nobody there. And then we became Verizon, and I endured 23 years of that. And then the timing was perfect. I lost my mom. I lost my dad. I acquired Mark, lost my job. And I had to figure out my life. And I went into a company called Isogenics, which I loved. And I stayed there for, I don't know, 15 years maybe. And then we had COVID. And by now Mark was starting to kind of be a little iffy, and we had some rough years. And but then, the last year, I'm kind of like, well, what am I going to do now? Like, what can I settle into? And so I restarted my networking group. I did the networking group also for about 15 years. But I took 2 years off to take care of Mark because I really couldn't do the group. And so I tend to stay with stuff a really long time. So I think more than 5 years, I hope in 10 years, I'm still going to be having teams in my networking group because I can't imagine giving that up. And I think I'm going to be doing Impact with a team there. I've been doing this basically a month, and I already have a team that's exploding under me, and a lot of things happening in that. So I don't abandon things too easily. So I tend to hunker down, and here we go. So that's me.
I love it. You're like the tried and true.
I am. I don't jump around. I jump around health
Right.
insurance companies, but I don't jump around my commitments.
I get it. I get it. 100%. You know, that's important because people need to know when they're working with somebody or even around somebody that they have a rock solid individual, that they know a person knows who they are, they know what they're doing, and they're okay. They're not going to run away in 5 minutes because they found something new. Ooh, look at that! I'm going to go after the new shiny thing.
Which some people do all the time.
Yes.
That's their mode of operation.
Yes, and it's so good. Like I always try to tell people that I work with, listen, I'm not going to put you in front of anybody who I don't trust. Mm-hmm. Right. And so I'm hoping that, the trust that I have in them will convey 100%. So, you don't sit around and second guess them. You do what they tell you to do, because they're good, solid people. They've already passed all the tests that I have to give, and you could trust them, and so when I offer my credibility along, it goes along with somebody else to help them boost their credibility, which I think is super important to be able to do, and then to be willing to do. Because a lot of times we find rock stars all the time, we keep them to ourselves. We don't want people to, I want to keep this to myself. I don't want anybody to know, because I don't want anybody to know how I became great because somebody else lifted me up. I think that's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people, they don't feel the same way.
Well, I think we live in a world of abundance, right? Yes. I mean, if you live in a world of scarcity, you can hide under your bed all day long and not accomplish anything. But why would you hide a rock star? I mean, the world should be benefiting from that, not hiding them away, right? So I don't know. I live in a world of abundance, Marvin, where there's plenty for everybody, and
Absolutely love it. I'm so thankful to have the opportunity to talk with you today. Is there anything that you want to share with our audience before we close the show out?
Oh, just if you'd like to contact me, I'm on LinkedIn, Elaine O'Malley, Elaine Julia O'Malley. I tend to do that because there's a lot of Elaine O'Malleys, it turned out. But and my number, if you wanted to reach me, is 703-638-3199. Love to have a chat. Love to do a one-on-one. If you need referrals, I'm your girl. I know a lot of people, and I'm happy to help. So
fantastic.
Thank you.
You are absolutely amazing, adorable, committed, rock solid, all the beautiful characteristics that we shared today with that actually exude from your character and personality today. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to have to know you and call you friend. Thank you so very much, Elaine. I'm going to put you backstage. I'm going to close out the show, and then we're going to have a chat, you and I. And I'm going to keep you to myself after that, right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I told you, we don't put anybody in front of you. We don't bring anybody here on this show who is not our rock solid rock star that you can depend on and work with. Elaine is giving your contact information. If you're watching the show, you're watching a recording, so you can also go back and just hit the rewind button and listen to that contact information again if you need to have confirmation on it. This is an event that is sponsored by the Roundtable. The Roundtable is a networking organization that I run with my good friend Darren Marcourt, and you can see his lovely face and my face, up in the illustration above. We believe in encouragement. We believe in collaboration, and we believe in communication. And these are the things that we teach. These are the things that we focus on in our group. And so if you know anybody who's listening, looking to build a learning environment of networking, we are not the network. We don't want to be the network. We're a learning environment. So we teach people how to effectively network. Come hang out with us for a little while. Then you go join one of Elaine's groups. And guess what? You can take off like the rock star that you deserve to be. Love to talk to you guys. My name is Coach Powell. This is Coach Powell Training Development. And this is how we win with Inside the Business Mind. Thank you all very, very much. Bye now.